All right, this is another very funny comedian. She does shows all over town. She runs her own room down the street, kind of at the, she takes turns with, I don't know how to describe it. I'm going to fuck it up, so I'm going to stop there. Ladies and gentlemen, this is one of our best friends. Make some noise. A lot of love for our friend Ilse Grangaard.
We did it.
Awkward interactions with men are my favorite way to start any set. So thank you, Michael. We should have an awkward off sometime. The prize for whoever wins can be a subscription to your Lonely Fans, and I can watch you tug and cry. Okay. I've already seen it, but it's too good. Just kidding. He turned me down like every other man in Reno. Once I talked a little. So I'm really happy to be here. I turned 30 last week. And promptly went to Wisconsin and brought back one of my mom's cats, so now I have two. I made it to 30 with no divorces and no kids under my belt. Thank you. Thanks to the miracle of modern medicine and being on oral contraceptives since I was 16. Yeah. Since we were talking about artificial insemination, I want to open with, I worked at a veterinary clinic for 3 years. And then they fired me for sexual harassment. It's true, I lost my health insurance. But I got a lot of really good stories about this vet who retired who used to do anal gland expressions and artificial insemination job-offs with no gloves on. He felt it was really good for his immune system. But it really freaked out his assistants because they'd be like, hold this dog, like restrain him. And then he'd come in and start jacking him off and they're like, what did I sign up for? We don't. I say we, they fired me. They don't do artificial insemination anymore, needless to say. This one time he did an anal gland expression and then wiped his hands off on his vet jacket and went and tasted some chocolate frosting on a cake that a client had brought. And everybody was like, fuck you, Dr. Blank, now we have to throw out the cake. Do you think waste of cake? I don't know. Good for your immune system. He's still alive. Mountain bikes is like marathons. Are there any theater kids in the audience?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've always had crippling stage fright. It's true. In high school, I wanted really badly to be theatery, but I couldn't because I would get paralyzed if you're on stage. But I did get to make out with a couple of techies.
Yeah.
Raise your hand if you've made out with a techie and it was the best part of your show. Yeah. It's all black back there. You can get shoved up against a prop table. Something kind of breaks a little bit inside you, but also the prop. What was that?
What?
No, I want to hear.
She was talking to me.
Oh, that's okay. I encourage audience participation since I'm guilty of it. So this one time, this techie, I'll call him Bobby Techie because his name is Bobby and I forgot his last name. He gave me a hickey right here, and the next day I was doing my hair and my mom saw it and she was like, Ilse, what happened? And I was like, I don't know, Mom, I think I burnt myself with my curling iron.
Yes.
She was like, don't do that.
Yeah.
And I was like, I won't. It hurts. I'm sorry for the crib notes, I have ADHD, but you will not even notice. You can pretend I'm checking the time for an invisible Apple Watch. All right, who wants to hear about some really bad sex in a weed apartment? Cool. I was also smoking lots of weed at the time. I spent the 3 months after I graduated college just on a couch watching torrented Fresh Prince of Bel-Air for the first time in my life, being wicked stoned. And then my boyfriend would come home and be like, you just sat on the couch naked all day and didn't do the dishes. So we were watching The Boys, that UK show on Amazon? Yeah, all right. Now, my ex-boyfriend was what you would call an Anglophile, obsessed with the Brits and all of their culture. And he had even done some kind of sound mixing thing in high school where he recorded his own voice over some guitar and electro something or whatever that his sound engineer person had helped with. So that night he was showing me this stuff he was very proud of because he's 33 and still his mom has to tell him his Apple ideas. But anyway, so we're watching, The Boys, and then it goes to blue screen. I fell asleep. He woke me up, whatever. He's we're getting down. So the sex begins, and I'm bent over the side of the couch, and I'm thinking, when I tell you the punchline, I'm going to tell so many people about this. And you guys are only like the fifth room, so. All right, so to set the stage. All right, so here's me over the couch, right? And I'm like 22, let's point at that. I'm like 22, and my boyfriend starts fucking me with dirty talk in a British accent. Oh yeah, I don't do a good British accent, but I'm gonna try. You like that, don't you? Oh, do you want more? Oh, fuck yeah. Oh, bloody hell. And I was like, motherfucker, you were raised in Clarkston and you tell people you're from Detroit. But okay. Yeah. Anyway, so that's that. But every time I think about someone like really loving Brits and like the Ramones and being like, I'm so cool, I'm like, man, you should get a better accent or smoke less weed before you fuck me and start saying like, fuck yeah. Maggie Thatcher. Oh, abortions. All right. I'm really excited for this bit, actually. So there's a very good friend of mine who has been with more women than I have. I'm bi, so that makes me sad, but still. And he taught me something this summer through many conversations, which is that the most bonding experience a couple can go through is to have an abortion together. I mean, can you think of a better trauma bonding, like opportunity, you know? It's like if you make it through that, and even if you don't, it's a great story at parties, you know? I'll be sitting there telling, like, my dad abused me jokes, and he'll one-up me with, like, I miss X, you know? I mean, we had an abortion together, how could I not? I know, right? Take the A word back. I've never had to have one, but they're like, they used to be $700 and now they're like, what, 8, 9? I really hope that doesn't happen to me. They won't tie your tubes until you're 35 and it's like not a thing anymore if you haven't already had a kid. Or else I would have had that shit cauterized and cut and tied. All of it. Which is why I have 2 cats now at 30. I'm trying to drive men away if everything about my personality isn't working enough. Did you know that it is possible to be socially obnoxious and intimidating enough that you can be super hot and good in bed and guys still don't want to fuck you? Earlier this summer, I bought someone a $100 bag of Coke to get him to sleep with me and wound up on the edge of the bed, promising not to touch him. I would like my money back. Yep. But it's not like there's exactly a bank record. Oh, where are we going now? Red flags. Who believes in red flags and like actually follows them? That's right, I said actually follows them. So my friends and my therapists, plural, my mother, everyone who cares about me is always like, Ilse, I know you like these alternative burnouts with like emotional baggage and drug problems and all this kind of stuff, and it doesn't seem to be working for you, so why can't you just date the nice software engineer who shops at Cabela's? Why is that not okay? And my response to that is always, well, guys who don't have as good a style as me are typically not as good at fucking as I am. And it's always my goal to walk into a bar with my boyfriend and know that everybody there wants to sleep with both of us, and at least one girl will hit on him in front of me, not knowing, thinking I'm just like a really sexy friend. And I'm always like, hey, and then I stick my tongue really far in his mouth, and she's like, and I'm like, don't worry, he'll dump me in like a week. He's only known me for like a month, it's okay. Red flags though. There's a really great meme that came out this year that is like, women can tell the difference between 100 shades of nude lipstick, but we can't spot red flags. Yeah, I thought it was funny. However, I beg to differ. I see them loud and clear, like therapist, I'll tell you again, I see them all. But I really support his Etsy store and his collage art, and I believe that the longer he lives in his mother's basement, the better chance he has of getting over his meth addiction. I mean, how else do you date in Reno? You know? I mean, if you're not going to be okay with a little bit of a drug abuse problem, like, is that person even interesting? I mean, I like guys who also know what Elliott Smith is, and if I want that, yeah, Elliott Smith, anybody? Not just the Good Will Hunting soundtrack, yeah! God, suicidal rockers are the hottest. If I could bring one back from the dead just to, like, keep in my apartment for a weekend, depends on how decomposed they are, I don't know. So, I'm always the aggressor when I'm hitting on someone. which is scary for them to have like a 111-pound ball of sexual energy that's like a cat in heat coming at you, and you're like, I have a girlfriend, even if you don't, and she just comes at you and starts like rubbing. You're like, get away from me. So I've started thinking about it as kind of like a used car salesman pitch, or not even a used car salesman. Like, I work at Lexus. I know you're afraid of me. I'm really good in bed. What's it gonna take to get you into a 2022 Ilse today? That's my time. Thank you very much, guys.